Nigerian Labour Congress issues midnight deadline to federal government to release Abure. Bandits abduct nurses, patients in Kaduna hospital. Restaurant operators decry significant drop in patronage due to economic slowdown. On the foreign scene, United Nations official says Sudan's war has killed at least 20,000 people. Hello and welcome to the News Hour tonight on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. The news in detail. The Nigeria Labour Congress has issued a Monday midnight deadline to the federal government to unconditionally release its president, Joe Ajaero, or face their consequences. NLC has therefore fixed a National Executive Council meeting for Tuesday 9 a.m. to take appropriate response if Ajaero was not released. In a communique at the end of its National Administrative Council meeting, signed by NLC Deputy President Adewale Adeyanju, the NLC said the National Administrative Council of the Nigeria Labour Congress convened an emergency meeting on Monday to address the alarming and unlawful arrest and detention of the NLC President by agents of the Nigerian government. The Congress placed all its affiliates, state councils, civil society allies, and the Nigerian populace on red alert, noting that the detention of Ajaero is an attack not just on the NLC leadership, but also on the rights of all workers and citizens to organize protests and express themselves freely. The statement alleged that the arrest is another attempt by the state to scuttle the implementation of the new national minimum wage. And earlier, the spokesperson of the NLC, Benson Opa, speaks on the arrest of its president, Joe Ajaero. Have a listen.
Every citizen to free speech, to free association or freedom of association and movement. These rights are guaranteed in our constitution. And no one, not even the secret police, has the right to abridge these rights. So we are dumbfounded, we are outraged, we are scandalized by the conduct of the state in this manner. And the objectives are quite clear: to instill fear, to shut down the democratic space, to cow the citizenry into submission, to warn them, look, when we cane you, dare not cry. And what you have seen is nothing. More are on the way. So, brace up. This is the message we are receiving here from the state. And our response is clear. We have given till 12 midnight tonight for Ajaero to be released unconditionally and unhurt. And by 9 o'clock tomorrow, the highest organ of the Congress will be meeting.
Also, the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has condemned the arrest of the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero. Ajaero was arrested and detained by officers from the Department of State Services on Monday on his way to the United Kingdom. In a statement signed by its president, Festus Osifo, on Monday, the TUC said the arrest of the NLC president is an unjust action that represents a clear violation of the rights to freedom of association and expression, fundamental pillars in any democratic society. According to the TUC, the arrest sets a dangerous precedent that threatens not only the leadership of the Nigerian labor movement, but also the voices of millions of working-class Nigerians who rely on unions to represent and protect their interests. TUC urged the Nigerian government to prioritize dialogue and reconciliation over harassment and called for the immediate release of the NLC president. Similarly, operatives of the Department of State Services have stormed the office of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project in Abuja. This was disclosed in a post via SARAP's official X handle on Monday. According to reports, the officers were demanding to see the rights group's directors. The group asked President Tinubu to immediately direct the SSS to end the harassment, intimidation and attack on the rights of every Nigerian. This is coming after the rights group had urged President Tinubu to direct the National Petroleum Company Limited to quickly reverse the outrageous palm price of premium motor spirit. To security matters, bandits on Monday invaded the primary healthcare center at Kuyalo in Birnin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State, kidnapping 2 nurses and an unspecified number of patients. According to a leader of a local vigilante group in the area, Musa Al-Hassan, the bandits initially targeted the nearby Government Day Secondary School, but upon finding the school empty, they turned their attention to the healthcare center located in the same area. According to him, the bandits who were seeking to abduct students instead took 2 female nurses and several patients hostage, leaving the community in a state of panic. The Kaduna State Police Command is yet to issue an official statement on the incident. In the meantime, 4 persons have been reportedly killed and several others kidnapped when bandits launched unprovocative attack on Kala political ward of Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. The Kaduna State Police Command and State's Ministry for Internal Security and Home Affairs are yet to make any official statement on the development. But a credible source within the area who spoke in confidence hinted that the armed kidnappers stormed the village around 2 a.m. on Monday, breaking into houses at jet speed. Trustee Bello Musa is joining us via phone to give an update on this incident. Bello Musa, thanks for joining us on the News Hour.
Thank you.
I'd like to hear from you. What is the latest on the security of these attacked communities?
Well, there's tension in the community after the attack by the bandit. That is 2 communities in Birnin-Gwari local government area and also in Kajuru local government area, that is Kalla, where bandits stormed the area last night and killed 4 people and kidnapped several other members of the community. So as we speak, there is tension in the area, though people are going about their normal businesses, but there's still tension in the area.
Okay, Bello Musa, I'd like to hear from you. Have the authorities released a statement regarding these attacks?
Well, they are yet to react to this attack in 2 communities in the 2 local government. The State Police Command is yet to react. Several calls to State Public Relations Officer were not successful at he couldn't be reached via phone. And also primary healthcare agency and other authorities are yet to make comments.
Now, we have stated that about 2 local governments in Kaduna State are under attack. I'd like to hear from you. What can you tell us about this area and its security challenges?
Well, these are areas that have been experiencing banditry and insurgents activities. Everybody knows that Birnin-Gwari has been in the news for over a decade. And this community of Kuyalo is a community about 1 hour journey from Birnin-Gwari and also on the road to Katsina. So it's an area where there's a lot of activities of bandits and other criminal elements and also insurgents. Same thing with the community in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State, that is Kalla, Afogo and other communities. There are a lot of banditry activities in those areas.
Okay, but while we wait to hear more from security operatives, I do hope you stay safe whilst you're there. Thank you so much for your contributions and insights on the News Hour tonight and regarding this particular stories. Thank you. And to a sad development, at least one person has been reportedly killed and 4 others abducted by bandits in Gumburawa village, Wamako local government area of Sokoto State. A resident of the area, Saidu Muhammad Gumburawa, said the bandits invaded the village around 12 a.m. and operated for only 30 minutes. Gumburawa, a kidnapped victim, explained that the bandits targeted some few houses during the operation, killing 1 person and abducting 4 others. The Sokoto State Police Command is yet to release an official statement on the incident. And now joining us via phone to give an update is Trustee Vice Yushau Adamu. Thank you so much for joining us, Yushau Adamu, Daily Trust Regional Editor.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you so much. I'd like to hear from you. What is the latest on the security situation in this particular community?
Well, so far we haven't heard from the police, even though I have put a call to the public relation officer of the police in charge of Sokoto State, demanding for update regarding the attack, but they have not yet released any press statement in that respect. But the community, I have spoken with 2 people in that area. People are conducting their routine activities in the area, and 2 patrol vehicles of police were deployed to the area. Like we have mentioned in the story, it's an outskirts of Sokoto. It's very close to the Osmanu Dampodio University. And this is not the first time this community is being attacked by bandits. The first time it was attacked, I spoke with one of the victims whom was kidnapped during the first attack. He said these bandits have arrived around 12 and they spent only 30 minutes operating in the area. And they have abducted 4 people, including a woman, and they killed 1 person. So basically, this is what we have heard so far.
Yushau Adamu, you have stated that although the security operatives are yet to release a statement regarding this particular incident, there has been a patrol vehicle that has been stationed around in that community. I'd like to hear from you. Do you think perhaps the presence of this patrol vehicle is what is reducing the apprehension by the community members?
Obviously, anytime that the residents are seeing the security personnel moving around, they will have peace of mind that yes, they are being taken care of, that security were deployed to the area to protect their lives and indeed their properties. So this is basically the situation.
Thank you so much for your insights and update regarding this particular kidnap incident in Wamako in Sokoto State. Thank you so much, Yushau Adamu.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
A 27-year-old Muhammadu Musa of Lafiagi Zadi Keta Eregi Ward, Kacha local government area of Niger State, has been stabbed in his farm by yet to be known suspected herder. The victim, currently receiving treatment at a private hospital in Mina, the Niger State capital, reportedly was rejected at the Mina General Hospital and IBB Specialist Hospital due to the severity of the stab that brought out his intestine. Trustee Vice Abubakar Akote completes the report.
The victim, who could not speak when Trust TV visited the private hospital where he was on admission, was said to have returned home on Saturday holding his intestine in his hand after he was stabbed by yet to be known herder. His father, Musa Muhammad, said they had already spent close to 2 million naira on treatment, calling on the Niger State Police Command and Niger State government to intervene and bring the suspect to book. Also speaking, an uncle to the victim, Umar Dalad Aruna, said the matter has already been reported at the Kate Regi Police Division. He has just returned from a journey and decided to go and check his groundnut farm. When he got to the farm, he saw herders grazing on his farm. When he talked to them, they threatened to kill him, and he started running, and they ran after him until they caught him. One of them instantly stabbed him with a knife.
After tearing his stomach, they now rushed him to Mina. Then they now called me that presently they have rushed him into hospital. They went to General Hospital, they did not receive him. IBB Hospital, they did not receive him. Went to MI Wushishi, they did not receive him. Then I now said to, who are you people with together? They now say it is Aisha, one of the medical personnel in our village. I now said to, they should go to Turnmaker. Instantly, I now call PA of area commandant Bida. I explained everything to him. He now said to, I should bear it on Monday. I said, no, I cannot bear it on Monday because it's in hard condition. Then let me go to area commandant Mina. I now rushed to area commandant's office. I now met the on duties there. I explained things to them. They now say it's not their division, but the best thing I should call Kacheregi nearby of the jurisdiction. And I said to her, if that should be the case, let me just go to police headquarters. And I went to police headquarters. That was around 1 to 2 a.m. I went to police headquarters. I now briefed the information office. That's information office. When I talked to them, I narrated everything. They now say, let them bring the names of the DPOs. They now bring a list and check the numbers. They now called the DPO and said, this is what is going on. And
they say the crisis between farmers and herders in the area has become a recurring problem that has claimed several lives, blaming authorities for not bringing the suspect to face the law. Abure-Led, Trust TV News, Mina.
And to another development in Niger State, President Bola Tinubu has condoled with the government and people of Niger State on the petrol tanker explosion along the Bida-Agei-Lakbai road on Sunday. The tanker explosion had claimed the lives of 48 people and 50 livestock. According to the Niger Emergency Management Agency and the Federal Road Safety Corps, many people were injured in the accident, which also involved a truck loaded with cattle and passengers. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President, Bayo Onanuga, on Monday, Tinubu commiserated with the families of the dead and injured victims and also sympathized with the owners of shops affected by the tragedy. While praying for the speedy recovery of the injured, the President commended the federal and state emergency agencies for their swift response, as well as good-spirited Nigerians who mobilized to the incident scene to assist the victims. He pledged continued support for efforts aimed at providing relief to those affected. And to other stories, the Julius Abure-Led Labour Party has cancelled the automatic ticket it previously reserved for the party's presidential candidate Peter Obi and Abia State Governor Alex Otti for the 2027 election. This was made known in the resolution of the Abure faction of the party after its National Executive Council meeting held on Monday in Abuja. The party said it has thrown open all its tickets from the presidency to the House of Assembly to all qualified Nigerians. This is coming after some leaders of the Labour Party, including Obi, Otti, some elected senators and House of Representatives members at the party met in Umuahia, Abia State last week to appoint a 29-man caretaker committee to lead the party in the interim. The committee, which is to be chaired by former Minister of Finance Nnedi Usman, will midwife an election of new leadership in 90 days.
All members of the National Working Committee are here, except for two that have an assignment outside Nigeria. State chairmen are here. State secretaries are here. Other stakeholders are equally here. And so the meeting is well constituted. And quorum for any meeting, as per the provision of the Constitution, is 1/3 of those who are supposed to be present in that meeting. And so we are very comfortable with this meeting, and we are even more than 2/3 in attendance. So this meeting is well constituted, and we are happy that we are here today.
And to the devastating effects of the flood, the Borno State government has ordered the immediate closure of all schools in the state to avoid loss of lives due to the current flooding in Maiduguri, the state capital. The State Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovations, Lawal Wakilbe, confirmed this on Monday evening. Wakilbe said all primary and secondary schools are directed to close for 2 weeks until after the flood might have receded. He said the directive became necessary after consultation with State Committee on Flood to prevent any loss of life. A number of communities in almost all the local government areas have been seriously affected by the flooding, especially in Maiduguri, Jere and other local government areas. He described the flood as a major disaster which has affected the state with thousands of people rendered homeless. Dealing with widowhood in Nigeria has over the years been dicey due to certain traditional customs and beliefs that deprive widows from asserting themselves and becoming economically secure. Hawa Adamu is one of such widows who encountered challenges after the demise of her husband with her in-laws family before settling down. Trust TV's Adamu Imam gathered that she is still struggling amidst the current economic hardship while taking care of the burden of her immediate family. The report.
Hawa Adamu, a mother of 4, tells Trust TV her encounter with her husband before he died.
My late husband was providing everything for the family, but I decided to start a small business, specifically akara and pap by the roadside. He was even teasing me about the whole thing. Little did I know that was our last discussion. I have tried many small businesses with success, but will not give up for the sake of my children because I don't want them to suffer.
Hawa says shortly after the demise of her husband, the mother-in-law started accusing her and other members of the family of disposing of her husband's properties, leaving her to seek alternative means of livelihood.
My late husband's friend was taking care of me and the kids, so my in-laws concluded that I looted my husband's wealth and was enjoying myself. His mother didn't know that his friend was taking care of us. Even this house we presently live in, he is the one paying our annual rent. They even raised the issue of sharing the inherited properties, but he left nothing for us as far as we are concerned.
An expert on widows' affairs, Fatima Idris Anjuma, as well as student community leader Baba Lambu Waziri, share their experiences while handling issues concerning widows at different levels of community engagements.
So widows are the people that should be taken care of in this country more than any other person, because some of them are left with 10 children, 12 children, 5 children, 3. Even those that are husbands their husbands are alive that have only 2 children are wearing a slippers to run away and leave their wives. What are you going to tell the widows? The widows are the champions of this society. As far as I'm concerned, these women has to be recognized in the society.
They are always helpless. The community, they are not doing very well to them. The families are not helping them. And then the well-to-do, they are not helping them. You see them roaming on the street with their kids, with their children. Sometimes some of them, they will come to community leader. Sometimes they will go to the imam, expecting that you will do something. Crying, some of them, they will think like, I never eat, I didn't eat, my children didn't eat. What can you do for me, sir? The only thing we beg them, if I have something, I give them. I don't have, I ask them to exercise patience, let them pray. We'll be along the way, God will help them.
They appeal to authorities concerned to emplace mechanisms that would protect the rights of widows and also improve their living conditions. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And to the National Assembly, the House Committee on Public Accounts has directed the Joint Admission and Matriculations Board and the Investment and Security Tribunal to pay into the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation about 3.457 billion naira and 6.327 million naira respectively within 30 days and tender evidence of payment before the committee. Chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salami, gave the directive at the resumed investigative hearing of the committee.
According to the committee chairman, the refusal of the two organizations to reply letters from the Fiscal Responsibility Commission informing them of their liabilities was an admittance of their indebtedness to the government. Head of the Monitoring and Evaluation of the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, Bello Aliu, had told the committee that the exam body was defaulting in its remittance, and as it was remitting only 25% of its IGR instead of 50%. But Director of the Finance and Accounts of JAMB, Muftau Bello, who presented the registrar, said the board was not receiving any capital and overhead funding from the government and was therefore required to remit 25% of the IGR. Ruling out the submission, the committee chairman and members frowned at the refusal of JAMB to respond to their letters, insisting that the government is run based on correspondence. He said the board should pay into the government coffers the amount standing against them within 30 days.
Assuming we have completed their liability for 50%, they will now write to us and now say, oh, please, Fiscal Responsibility Commission, the Honorable Minister of Finance has waived this rule to be 25% in our favor because of our peculiarities. And this will now put into consideration. Unfortunately for JAM, no such letter has been submitted to us.
We have been following with passion the remittances of 25% and at least 25% on yearly basis. But the fiscal responsibility, and we are in the educational sector, we have not increased any of our charges by 1 kobo in the last 8 years. Rather, we reduced our registration fee from 5,000 to 3,500, which is 30% reduction of our revenue.
It is the decision of the Public Account Committee that you pay the sum of 3,602,705,277 naira to the CRF as demanded by the Fiscal Responsibility Commission.
In another ruling, the committee asked the Investment and Security Tribunal to immediately recover and pay into government account taxes not deducted from 5 contractors.
We looked at it carefully, even though letter had been written to them to do it. But I think we are under obligation to ensure getting them. Did you get it? We need to have deducted it before concluding the transaction. So either way, we must pay the tax. Because if this tax were to be paid in which year was that? 2019? Was it 2020? This is 2024. So it's not only paying the amount, you're also going to pay with interest to government. And we're going to apply the necessary consequences for failure to deduct and remit taxes as provided by extant financial regulations.
The committee also asked the tribunal to remit the accompanying fine among other liabilities standing against them.
The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has criticized the Bureau for Public Enterprise for allegedly squandering 10 billion naira on registering 2 companies for the Nigeria Postal Service, which folded up just a year after launch. Committee Chairman Bamidele Salam expressed his belief that 10.4 billion naira was spent on registering NIPOS Transport and Logistics Limited and NIPOS Property, only for them to cease operations in May 2024, barely a year after their May 2023 launch. BPE's head of finance and accounts, Imam Rilwan, defended the expenditure, stating that 423 million naira was used for registration and preparatory activities, while 400 million naira was allocated to BPE for groundwork. However, the committee questioned the justification for spending government funds before release and demanded relevant approvals. Salam directed BPE's Director General Ayodeji Gbelei to appear before the committee on September 11 with all relevant documents expressing displeasure at the apparent violation of the Public Procurement Act.
And today, 2024, those corporations have been delisted. They are no longer in existence.
No longer in existence.
The corporations we spent 10 billion naira to give back to are no longer in existence 1 year after.
No, sir, it's not like that, sir.
It's like how, sir?
Yes, actually the old money was not spent. So this, we are sorry that this submission was not paid. 1, 2, 3.
Was your own 400 million naira spent?
Yes, we spent the.
You spent the 400 million naira
yes,
as part of the money to give back to some new corporations.
Yes, sir.
1 year after they are dead.
Subsidiaries. So NIPOST 2017, the National Council on Privatization, that's the council, the board of PPE, gave approval that NIPOST should be reorganized. So 2 subsidiaries were created. So we have NIPOST Transport and Logistics Services Limited, and then we have NIPOST Properties and Development Company Limited. So because of a lot of political issues and of course at times the SCP board maybe was not in place due to maybe changing political situations. So it was in 2022 that the subsidiaries were created. But this year, the subsidiaries have been delisted.
Inflation continues to impact prices of goods and services across the country. Residents of Lagos State are lamenting the surge in the prices of medication, especially prescription drugs. Trustee Ms. Victoria Tokolo reports that many Nigerians are now finding it difficult to afford medicines for themselves and families, a situation that poses grave danger for many, especially those with serious health conditions. The report.
Inflation in Nigeria has affected every aspect of life, including the health sector, with the prices of medical supplies and medications witnessing a significant rise over the last 1 year. In Lagos State, Nigerians have been voicing their displeasure with the surge in the price of medications, which has seen a further increase due to the recent fuel price hike.
Like for instance, now if you come to get a drug and then I tell you the price, and let's say 5,000 naira, they will opt for something cheaper, right? So it's now we see clients coming for something cheaper because they can't afford what they actually want to buy, because it is now expensive, right? So they still come in their numbers because health is wealth. If someone is not feeling fine, they want to get treated, they want to get fine, but they just opt for the lesser one because they can't seem to afford the seemingly expensive ones.
As the country is now, man, I cannot buy. Before medication, this drug that I want to buy, it was 100 naira. It's come to 300, but now it's 2,000. I cannot even buy because of the country. Things too hard for the country.
That our government does need to help us because all these things are too much. It have cost a lot. See now in pharmacy now, a person wants to buy a little drug now. Before, how much they are selling drugs?
To the medication aspect, the increment of salaries, minimum wage they have implemented has affected. They use indirect way to make sure that they take whatever they have implemented out of people's salaries. So the medication area, people are suffering. A lot of people are dying for diseases that the government could have been taking care of them because of there's no money in the society.
To address the issue, Nigerians are calling on the federal government to prioritize healthcare as a critical national concern by ensuring that prices of medications are reduced to enable Nigerians live healthier and longer lives.
Still on the high cost of living, as Nigerians battle to survive the ever-increasing cost of living across the country, posh restaurants that once bustled with patronage in the FCT are now struggling to survive amidst the prevailing hardship. As the economic downturn continues to weaken the purchasing power of Nigerians, with many forced to tighten their belts, the demand for high-end dining has significantly decreased across the city center. Sumaya Abubakar reports.
The vibrant dining scene in Nigeria has been significantly impacted by the economic downturn, as many posh restaurants, once bustling with patrons, are now struggling to stay afloat. The challenges facing this restaurant are compounded by rising costs, including increased prices for food, beverages and utilities. These factors have made it difficult for these businesses to maintain profitability. Managers and staff expressed their struggles and concerns on the low patronage as well as the impact on workers.
In this kind of business, you have customers that will always want to come every day. Some of them even have your menu on their head, but these days you hardly see your regulars because of the economy, and we can't there's nothing we can do about it. We understand everybody's going through it. Even as a restaurant, we're going through it. So it has really affected the business.
Our customers complaining that our prices have gone up because of the increment of things. We are not finding it funny anymore. And even as a staff also, we find it challenging coming to work, getting a vehicle. The prices is ×3 of what we usually paid for before. Regarding the aspect of customers giving us a little tip so that will help ourselves, it's not funny because the tip is not actually tipping anymore.
The decline in patronage has forced many restaurants to adopt desperate measures to survive, such as shutting down non-profitable outlets, while others have implemented cost-cutting strategies.
With that, we had to change the price like some 3 months ago, but we now notice that even with the change of price, things have still skyrocketed again in the market. And you'll be like, okay, so what else do we do again? I can't change prices again. And even me, I think it's not too good for the business, but that is where we find ourselves now.
The economic downturn has forced many Nigerians to adjust their lifestyles and tastes. As a result, local restaurants, often referred to as Mama Put, have seen a surge in patronage, while other Nigerians prefer home-cooked meals to save money.
Even Mama Put these days is not easy. Nothing is easy in Nigeria with the current situation now. Mama Put, before you can use like 300, 400 naira to eat Mama Put. But currently now, Mama Put is like 2,000, 3,000. In some places it's 4,000. Depends the location.
If you are to go to a restaurant to buy food, maybe husband, wife and their 3 children, I think you can't spend anything less than 30,000 naira. That 30,000 naira, if you go back home, use the 30,000 naira, you can be able, I think, to know how to utilize that 30,000 in order for that money to take your family for at least a week or 2 weeks.
The harsh economic policies, poor power supply and astronomical rise in prices of diesel, fuel and foodstuff have created a challenging environment for posh restaurants, as many continue to struggle to remain profitable and keep their doors open. Sumaya Abubakar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Nigeria Customs Service says operatives of Operation Whirlwind have intercepted 500,000 litres of PMS as part of its efforts to curb crude oil theft. Petrol smuggling has been a major challenge to Nigeria's economy as the country loses billions of naira to the illegal activity. Trust TV's Chamun Dapeng reports that Operation Whirlwind has since made 87 seizures in its bid to curb the smuggling menace.
Nigeria's fuel price, known to be one of the cheapest in the continent, has been smuggled to other countries and sold at higher prices. The cost to the nation, according to National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, is evident in the instability of the nation's currency.
If there is one single thing that is the reason why we are unable to stabilize Naira today in Nigeria, is because of this smuggling, particularly of the oil products, especially PMS. Government of Nigeria have been shouldering this burden of subsidy, but by extension we are subsidizing all our neighboring countries. Smuggling has to stop.
NCS has since made 87 seizures, including up to 500,000 litres of PMS valued at over 447 million naira.
I want it to be very clear that
in line with what the NSA has said, we acknowledge that smuggling is occurring and is driven by very significant drive differentials between what obtains here in Nigeria and what we have in other countries. However, I want to state unequivocally that Nigeria Customs Service will not spare any effort in combating this menace. We remain committed as a major stakeholder in ensuring the integrity of our petroleum supply chain.
The Comptroller General stated that there is a need to look deeper into the challenges of the petroleum sector, as smuggling alone cannot be blamed for its challenges.
That it would be unfair and overly simplistic to reduce the entire challenges of the petroleum industry to smuggling alone. The movement of fuel to legitimate locations is not our concern. Customs only becomes involved when there are attempts at smuggling it outside the country. However, we must together address the issues of sincerity and accountability among all the parties that are involved in the supply chain.
Adeni, while urging stakeholders to play a contributory role, stated that the operation costs the Nigeria Customs Service 230 million naira monthly, an amount not present in their budget. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris had in March disclosed that Nigeria loses 1 billion litres of fuel to smuggling, representing a 53% loss for the nation. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
It's time now to join Yusuf Akogo for the business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogo. The federal government revenues from value-added tax has increased to a total of 1.56 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2024. According to the National Bureau of Statistics report, VAT revenue collection, the increase represents a 9.11% increase from the 1.43 trillion naira in the Q1 of 2024. Local payments recorded were 792.58 billion naira. Foreign VAT payments were 395.74 billion naira, while import VAT contributed 375.95 billion naira in Q2 of 2024. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, human health and social work activities recorded the highest growth rate with 98.44%, followed by agriculture, forestry and fishing with 70.26%, water supply, sewage, waste management and remediation activities with 59.75%. In terms of sectoral contribution, manufacturing with 11.78%, information and communication with 9.02%, and mining and acquiring with 8.7% recorded the highest growth. Following the recent hike in the price of premium motor spirits, otherwise known as petrol, small business owners under the aegis of Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria have decided to adopt survival strategy that will ensure that they do not go into extinction. This is coming on the back of warning by the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria and ASBON that the fuel price increase could lead to scaling down of operations and possible shutdown of more manufacturing companies and micro and small business enterprises in the country. ASBON President Femi Egbeshola stated that MSME sector should focus on what they can do to remain in business. He urged members to leverage on manpower and to use technology to improve productivity, visibility, and marketing. NJS opened Monday in red following uncertainty in the larger economy. Let's see how it went down there. Julius Berger leading the losers. They're down 10% to close at 153 naira and 45 kobo per share. Transpower Nigerian PLC 9.99%. It lost to close at 301 naira and 70 kobo per share. Of UPS also down as well, 8.99% to close at 2 naira and 43 kobo per share. Of course, this has dragged down the market downward by 0.17%. Volume of trade 763.49 million shares, value at 14.420 billion naira. The list of 10,223 did exchanges among investors there. For looking at the top trading equities in terms of volume, the top trading equities by volume, Jais Bank Nigeria PLC leader table 247.04 million shares traded. Zenith Bank 173.49 million shares. Of course, First Bank of Nigeria PLC 41.50 million shares it traded. Of course, the banking sector affair, you will see. Of course, some equities also recorded gains despite the negative performance of the market. Eternal Oil lead again as there 10% it gained to close at 33 naira per share. Of course, Tantalizer PLC also gained 10%. It closed at 77 kobo per share. Of course, Oando Nigeria PLC has become a constant feature on the trading tables. 9.95% it gained to close at 89 naira and 50 kobo per share there. Let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akugu.
On the international scene, the United Nations says the over 16 months of war in Sudan has killed more than 20,000 people, a grim figure amid a devastating conflict that has wrecked the northeastern African country. Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, gave the tally at a news conference in Sudan's Red Sea city of Port Sudan, which serves as the seat of the internationally recognized military-backed government. He said the death toll could be much higher. Sudan was plunged into chaos in April last year when simmering tensions between the military and the powerful paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces, exploded into open warfare across the country. The conflict has turned the capital, Khartoum, and other urban areas into battlefields, wrecking civilian infrastructure and an already battered healthcare system. On Friday, United Nations-backed human rights investigators urged the creation of an independent and impartial force to protect civilians, blaming both sides for war crimes including murder, mutilation, and torture. Still on the foreign scene, Kenya commenced DNA testing on Monday to help identify the boys who lost their lives in a deadly school dormitory blaze last week. The nation has also declared 3 days of mourning for the 21 young victims of the grim tragedy that has raised fresh concerns about safety standards at Kenyan schools. The children perished after flames engulfed their dormitory at the Hillside Endarasha Academy in Nyeri County in central Kenya. As they were sleeping late on Thursday night, 19 bodies were found on the charred ruins of the building, while another 2 died in hospital. But 17 were still unaccounted for, government spokesman Isaac Mwara said on Saturday. Police have said the bodies of the youngsters aged between 9 and 13 were burnt beyond recognition, adding that families have been facing an agonizing wait to find out the fate of their loved ones. Chief Government Pathologist Johansen Odo has said postmortems would begin on Tuesday. Let's now join Emmanuel Fashemi for the sports news.
Three-time African champions, Super Eagles of Nigeria, will on Tuesday confront Amavubis of Rwanda at the newly renovated Amahoro Stadium, Kigali, with a seating capacity of 45,000 in match day 2 of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. The Super Eagles started the qualifiers on a winning note, beating Cheetahs of Benin Republic 3-0 in match day 1. During the pre-match conference in Kigali, Rwanda, interim coach Austin Ugwevon said the team aimed for a win.
Yes, brand new facility, no doubt, from the outside. It's good. We're going to step into the pitch now to train. That's another thing. If you ask me that again, I can also come back and answer that question. Intimidation, no. It's football, it's entertainment. We've come here to entertain people. And like my captain said, our captain said, we'll treat people with respect. Respect Rwanda, we look down there. We're here on one mission, to try to get something away from here. And I think we can achieve that.
Captain of the team, William Troost Ekong, who recently moved to Saudi Arabia League, said the team is ready to give it best and ensure they get all 3 points.
My first time in Rwanda, so I can only add to what the coach has said. It's been a great reception. Conditions have been good so far. I'm looking forward to seeing the stadium and the pitch. Of course, we came here with a clear mission. We know Rwanda is a good team. We respect them. We've met them already in the World Cup qualifiers, where they're currently top of the group. And we're looking forward to a good game tomorrow. The boys are very highly motivated, so hopefully it will be a good show for everyone to watch. But we came here with one objective to win the game.
The fixture is bid for 2 p.m. at the Amahoro Stadium in Kigali, Rwanda. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashemi.
And that's about the size of our package for you on the News Hour tonight on Trust Television. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good night.